The first FIFA 19 title update is here and it's coming to our consoles very shortly. It's actually already out on PC and I think this is the most transparent EA have ever been with us for FIFA. Brilliant news for all of us. So as you guys can see now, here are the big details. Before we go into this forum right here, I'm going to show you something interesting. So the side foot shot bug from outside of the box is actually patched. It's a very big issue in gameplay. The amount of times you'd do like a full power shot or even half full power and it just wouldn't do like a proper regular kind of powerful shot. It'd be more of a finesse shot. That's been patched, so that's brilliant. Also, the Champions League anthem is fixed during the lineups. Anyway, let's get into the big update. The first title update for FIFA 19 is now available for PC and will be out for PS4 and Xbox One at a later time. This update includes the changes below. Gameplay. Due to community feedback, we are planning on limiting changes to gameplay and only making targeted fixes in an effort to keep the balance and feel of the game consistent while we continue to gather feedback from players. So they've addressed the following issues. The power bar for set piece kicks in an online match was sometimes incorrectly going to 100% when the player had requested less power. Hopefully that means, by the way, for penalties that's fixed, because penalties, guys, you tap shoot and it goes over the bar. Sometimes when the player requests a regular laces shot, they'll get an inside of the foot shot, animation instead. This inside of the foot shot animation would usually result in shot having less power. Traits. We've published a pitch note article that covers traits in FIFA 19, check it out there. They have though addressed the following issues. Some traits that no longer had any functionality in gameplay were still displaying in the front end. Some traits that did have functionality in gameplay were not displaying in the front end. Added CPU AI only to the names of traits that only have an effect on players when they are controlled by the CPU AI. A refresher on what we mean by computer AI. The CPU plays the game as you would, limited by the same input restrictions that a human player has. This means that the CPU team has an active player, just like you do, which we call the CPU AI control player. A CPU AI control player exists in the following circumstances. On a team with no human players, for example, I think you guys can read that bit for yourselves there. Anyway, Ultimate Team. So the EA have addressed the following issues within Ultimate Team. In Rivals, some reward options contain 4 rewards, but only 3 were displaying in the front end, so they're going to fix that. This was a visual issue only. Players selecting these rewards received all of the appropriate rewards. Trying to swap duplicate items from the new items screen would sometimes cause an error message to appear and or display an undefined item image. Foot coin balances were sometimes not visually updating properly when a player was outbid on an item on the foot transfer market. So that's going to be fixed, guys, as well by EA. Also, stability issue that would sometimes occur in foot single player seasons if the player had forfeited the previous match. Squad building challenge rewards that provided a foot item requiring logging in and out of foot before you could claim them. Visual issue where a player would sometimes disappear during a pack opening walkout animation. I've had that a few times, guys, when I think I packed Busquets and he just didn't appear. The country graphic displayed in squad battles for a squad from India were incorrect. The Rivals post-match weekly score summary was displaying oddly if the player's rank had changed while they were playing the previous match. Next, we have a lot of updates here for the journey. So, customization of Alex Hunter was incorrectly displaying for some users. That's going to be fixed. Updated the mentor selection screen. The mentor rating was not present in the training flow. They're going to fix that. Play the game was incorrectly triggered during the opening of the journey. The ball went missing from Jim Hunter's hands if he scored a hat-trick during the opening of the journey, which I showed you guys on my journey series. Stability issue during the post-match highlights following a match with Kim Hunter in Chapter 2. Stability issue again when switching to Kim Hunter at the start of Chapter 4. Another issue after completing a training drill with Kim Hunter. Purchasing the weak foot trait for Kim Hunter was defaulting her weak foot rating to 3 stars. Getting a red card in Danny Williams' first match was still allowing him to be a sub in the second. If Danny Williams got 2 yellow cards in his first match, he was banned for more than 1 game. Very weird one. One of Danny Williams' teammates was missing his body during a cutscene. The matches played stat for Alex Hunter and Williams was sometimes inaccurate. Sometimes Danny would be put into the starting lineup even when he had a late sub rating. The rival icon is missing in a match where Alex Hunter is playing Danny Williams. Now on to online modes. They've addressed the following issues with the online modes. Attempting to play Pro Club's friendly match after playing a co-op seasons match would result in one player from your team being unable to proceed into the Pro Club's match. Attempting to play an online seasons or online friendlies match after playing a Pro Club's friendly match would result in a squad mismatch error. That's going to be patched, which is brilliant news. Pro Club's friendly matches were showing in the end of match flow screens from a Pro Club League match. This was a purely visual issue. Incorrect player model displays briefly in the practice arena before a club's match. Brief image of a stadium was displaying when exiting Pro Club drop-in match. Stability issue in Pro Clubs after swapping controllers multiple times. So that's Ultimate Team, Journey and Pro Clubs covered, guys. A lot to read here, Jesus Christ. Career mode. They've addressed the following issues. So when playing as a team that qualifies for either Champions League or Europa League through the playoffs, the championship match was scheduled on the same day as the final league match. This fix will not affect existing save files. Remove the following trait from the list of player career traits as they no longer had an in-game function. Driven pass, acrobatic clearance, diving header, fancy flicks, goalkeeper up for corners. In player career, some incorrect accomplishments were displaying after playing the first match of your career. Certain player sub-transfers were being rejected due to incorrect budget calculations. The block offers option was not appearing in some situations. News was not properly displaying when a player is acquired in the transfer market. News articles for Player of the Month awards were displaying the incorrect month. Visual customization to Alex Hunter and Williams were not being properly displayed during negotiation scenes in career mode. Petr Cech was wearing his helmet during negotiation scenes. We have now found him a tie instead. Love that update, EA, a lot. Wouldn't be surprised if Corey did that himself. So, also, kickoff, they've addressed the stability issue in the team management screens when playing in Arabic. Sometimes when making a complicated series of squad changes in the team management screens, the wrong players would get subbed off. When making a complicated series of squad changes in the team management screens again, you were unable to back out the screens. Reduce the number of tutorial screens present in the kickoff tutorial, which is always a good thing. Game modes, a player's individual attributes were not properly loading into the first attempt at a skill game. The only impacted skill games and could be resolved by restarting or retrying the skill game. Also, they've made the audio adjustments here, guys, so they have added audio banter regarding the previous World Cup, added audio banter, I love they've used banter, for a number of teams, added audio banter for a number of stadiums, audio banter for a number of team matchups, adjusted the sound effects that play during negotiation scene in career mode, tune the audio that plays after a goal to provide more unique audio, tune the audio that plays during foot, that's a big one. Tune the audio that plays during foot pack opening animations. So they've obviously changed the packs there, which is a cool one. Also, they've addressed the following issues with the Champions League anthem, which was being played during player lineups at the start of a Champions League match, as I think some of it was wrong. Missing audio for Champions League matches in some stadiums. To be fair, guys, these I'm just going to let you read, but it's just like some audio stuff, and the Chinese Super League team names were not being mentioned in the intro. Also, visually and presentation-wise, they have made the following changes with that. They've added UEFA Super Cup overlay package to the game, which is brilliant. Added a new goal celebration for Jesse Lingard, so that's cool. To do the celebration, play as Jesse Lingard, and after scoring a goal, run to the cameras. Very, very easy one there, which is cool. They've never really done that in a game. They've never added a new goal celebration, I'm pretty sure. Update to some of the ad boards displayed in Stadium, and then some of these next ones are actually quite interesting. So Neymar's name was actually incorrectly displaying as Junior on some screens. Corrected some instances of kick clashing involving the ref. Post-goal replays were not showing the full goal-scoring sequence, so that's a big one they've updated, guys, especially for Ultimate Team. I wanted to see more replays to see where it can improve. An issue where the ball was rarely warping around the pitch after kickoff. Free agents were not wearing the proper agent kit when viewed in other teams. Incorrect team crests were displayed on player benches in the RCDE Stadium. Updates to the kits worn by players in some of the Tifo displays in Stadium. Graphical corruption of the English Football League Championship badge when displayed on a kit in game. Again, the same thing for the trophy for that one. TIFOs were appearing on the wrong side of the stadium for some teams. Liga NOS team OS Belenenses was being displayed as just Belenenses. Yeah, that team. Updates were also made to the team crest and to the banners and flags that display in stadium. Buenos Aires was defaulting to the incorrect stadium. Sometimes the card or injury drop-down notifications were not triggering following a card or injury. Long player names were missing or cut off in the match details for the FA Cup match. The penalty scoreboard did not show the team's kit colours when playing an English Premier League match. Sometimes the match details overlay was displaying too briefly at half-time and at the end of the match. This literally feels like I'm reading an audiobook, guys, for the new update. It's so long, but it's brilliant. I like all these updates. Anyway, the penalties results were missing from the match details overlay when playing a match in the MLS. The league table drop-down was only showing the top team's point totals in a La Liga match. The default skill games camera was sometimes clipping through the fence. The camera angles used for women's match were incorrect during the player lineup shots. The camera was sometimes being obstructed in a number of stadiums, resolved clipping issues in a number of stadiums as well. Placeholder text was present on some ad boards, and the Bundesliga 2 logo was appearing during a substitution in a Bundesliga match. As you can see there, thanks to those who provided feedback from us in the community. Throughout the course of FIFA 19, we'll be providing you with more info and updates if and when they become available. That was like reading an essay or a dissertation. Seriously, that was incredible how long that update was. But for me, the biggest one obviously are the finesse shot is now going to be, well, when you power up like a power shot, it's going to be a power shot now, not necessarily always a finesse shot, which is good. That's been a weird one, which we said at the capture event, and thank God they have fixed that. Some big ones in the journey as well, but mostly for me, Ultimate Team have probably the biggest updates there. As I said before though, the side foot shot bug from outside the box is indeed patched. The anthem is fixed during the lineups as well. So that's the biggest one. There were some like trait and specialities and save styles, which were kind of interesting. So as you can see there, traits in FIFA 19 are used to provide players with unique skills and play styles in the game that match their real-life counterparts. Each trait impacts some aspects of the player's behaviour on the pitch, or in some cases off of it. Not all traits function in the same way, and to be honest guys, I'll leave a link to this, I'll quickly scroll through it. There are trait categories in FIFA 19, Standard, CPU AI, Career Mode and Virtual Pro. Trait effects in this category impact the way that a player plays, both when controlled by a human and when controlled by the CPU. And yeah, there's some interesting stuff though here, like as well. The CPU plays the game as you would, limited by the same input restrictions that a human player is, and all this is to do with trait as well. You guys can quickly read through this, but yeah, it's very straightforward stuff. Traits, giant throwing, it goes all through them there. Flair, rush out of goal. There's a lot to go through right there. Pitch notes as well. Gameplay. This is quite a big one. So first off, we wanted to address the gameplay. Due to significant community feedback stemming from FIFA 18 early into FIFA 19, the gameplay team is limiting changes to gameplay in the initial stages of release. The idea here is to only make targeted fixes in an effort to keep the overall balance and feel of the game consistent, so they want to make it balanced going forward. While this is initial theme, we do not want our players feeling like we aren't addressing feedback or taking action regarding concerns from our player base. We don't want FIFA 19 to get drastic changes, but we're absolutely monitoring for bugs or tuning that needs to be addressed in future patches. With that said, one key fix in this particular patch is in regards to when players are anticipating a regular shot laced outside of the box and are seeing side foot animation shots instead. This has been addressed. The gameplay team has also fixed an issue with the power bar for free kicks in online matches were sometimes incorrectly going to 100%, so that's going to be fixed as well. And yeah, that's pretty much everything, but obviously there's the Super Cup animation there, so that's going to be added to the game. Yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this new FIFA 19 title update. It's been a hell of a lot of reading today, but I like that they're updating us and being more transparent. They need to do this. Big thanks to EA for the new update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. What do you want updating in FIFA 19? Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.